My name is Wah.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which is often tainted with a little saltiness, a little bitterness, and sometimes you can't even see our faces or our point of views. But at the end of the day, hopefully, whatever you're seeing, whatever you're hearing, might be mildly sweet. Hi! Listen, if you're listening to this podcast, nothing is different for you. But if you are part of our Patreon, I do have to call out that today I am being able to record this with my dear friend while I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland, which I now realize is how you have to say Edinburgh. You just kind of stop it after that. You don't say Edinburgh, which is what you want to say for American, but you don't say it. And it's great. I'm having a time of my life, but I don't have the greatest Wi-Fi. And so if you are watching on Patreon, you're just going to watch Waz's lovely face and you'll see my icon. Hi.
My super relaxed face and body. Like I am like, listen, I'm here. Okay. So love it. So what we're talking about today is Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, episode 14, Most Wanted. And I have to say that I got up at 4:45 this morning to watch this show. I don't know what happened. I was like moving about, having some tequila last night, and then I went to sleep and woke up the hottest I've ever been, and the air conditioner had shut off. So I was up from 2:45 to legitimately 5 a.m. just moving about the cabin, doing things. So I'm a little off my kilter. Kilt. Chris is in Ireland, in Scotland.
Oh, it all comes back around, honey. It's such a small world. But yeah, we are excited to talk about this episode. I thought it was a great episode, and there was a lot of fun things I can't wait to talk about. I wish that Juan and I were watching it together because at one point, and I'm sure Juan knows what I'm about to say once I say it, we see two people do an activity together that Juan and I have done together, and it was like one of the times of our lives. And so when this scene happens and this activity happens, I was like, God damn it, Watt. I should be able to see Watt's face right now. We should be able to scream and grab each other. And all will be revealed. Actually, who cares? It was the axe throwing scene, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. So if you guys notice there's a little delay, Chris is 8 hours ahead and we're on this streaming service, and sometimes we can jump over each other. So we're trying our best to give each other space. So if you feel or sound or hear a delay, I said that. That's what's going on. So, I mean, speaking of axe throwing, do you just want to jump into pups and M's?
Yeah, I do. Pups and Ams, honey. There they are.
Okay, so we start off their segment with, I mean, something that we talked about last episode, right, Chris? It's the matching outfits between Eric and Puppy.
I know. He got those coats made. Those jackets had to have been made by someone. I mean, right?
I honestly think they're dangerous. Like every time I saw those spikes on her shoulders, I was like, this is dangerous. And like, I mean, strategically, there's no spikes on the back, but what about their car seats? Like, I'm just worried. This feels dangerous.
I get that. You know how there's like spikes on wheels for big rigs? And I'm always thinking like, are those spikes there because those big rigs are literally like, get near me and I will like rip apart your wheels? It's so grease lightning. It's very aggressive. It's very violent, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is aggressive. I don't know if I want to say violent, but I always imagine that these truck drivers are like, got things happening to them on these lonely roads, So like maybe when they're driving down like a lonely Idaho road where there's no one for miles and there's like an animal that runs up, like the wolves are chasing them, and so they need the spikes to stop the wolves and other plain animals from attacking them.
I love that's what you think. Yeah. Because they're always just like, traversing America through the safari to deliver the goods from coast to coast. Yeah. All the lions, all the tigers. They just attack them on Route 66, honey. Now we all know Route 66 is basically, I mean, the African plains. It's very Lion King.
Yeah, definitely. So they are going to not a therapist. What's that person called that tells you what to do? A lawyer. So they're going to a lawyer to to figure out Eric's divorce situation. And Michelle, as I mean, this lawyer calls Puppy Michelle. I mean, we used her government name a lot in this episode. So Puppy AK Michelle is like, I just want to make sure that the ball is rolling and this is like a physical thing that's happening. And I want Eric to let her go. And I'm just like, Puppy is just like a Southern belle. She's got a Southern belle voice, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, no, for sure. She, of course, oops, friends. She, of course, really wants Eric to be 100% in love with her and be like, I can't wait to take you away and marry you. You are the love of my life, and I love you so much. I'm so very warm. I'm affectionate towards you, puppy, because I can't help but my love from you. It's as if she constantly wants this from someone who she, like, I don't know, hasn't met, because we've met Eric now, and he is like, Eric's on his last leg. I can't even say legs. I mean, and we learned something. Yeah. What did we learn in this divorce segment?
So she's like, Eric, do you still love Heather? And he's been married to Heather for, is that her name? Heather. Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
married to Heather for 8 years. And he says that when he was with her, that he had some health problems. And I said,
Mm,
oh, you're still having health problems because, sir, you are not well. You are not
mhm.
doing better. So I would like to know what that health thing was. And he feels like divorce is a life altering decision. So he
Yeah, like
has
marriage.
fully been with Puppy for 2 years, but him actually getting a divorce is a life altering decision.
Mhm. Mhm. Uh, I feel so this is basically what happens. He is sitting there and they're like, "Well, how much is it going to be?" And the nice lawyer is like 6,500 and he's like, "Well, I got to do it, I guess." His whole demeanor during this scene is very much like a toddler, or no, sorry, like a 4th grader that's being taken to the dentist for the first time, and that kid hates every second and is like there, but has been promised that like he'll get a happy meal afterward, but he's not happy to be there, and she feels it. So she constantly is like, are you sure you want to do this? But are you sure you want to do this? But like, am I just making you do this and you don't want to do it? And he has to, and he never is like, don't worry, puppy slash Michelle, I really want this from you, and I really can't wait to marry you and show the world how much I love you. He's very much like, nah, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I'm doing.
And then he tells her that it's degrading that she asks him if he still is in love with Heather. And she's like, no, it's not degrading. What's degrading is me hanging on to you for 2 years to somebody who doesn't love me. Like, I just need to know. I want to hear. I don't believe you. And I said, does this man not know what the word degrading means? Like, he's just like trying to gaslight her and trying to throw out words to like get her off the trail. And he's using the wrong words. And she is very much like, no, it's actually not degrading for me to ask you if you love your wife. It's not degrading for me to ask you if you love your wife.
Yeah.
So the next scene that we have is the axe throwing scene. So we finally meet TC, and I am just very interested, always interested in the type of man who falls for Amber. And not to say that Amber isn't a baddie. Amber is just giving off very masculine baddie vibes. Like she'll have her nails done and she'll wear a wedged boot, or she'll wear like a little thick 2 inch, you know, secure heel, right? But
It's
there's
gonna be
nothing else
chunky.
about her that gives off femme to me. So
Mm-mm.
I'm always interested in the man because I feel like I do my best to be feminine, to draw men in, because I feel like I'm rather masculine. And now I've found a more masculine woman than me, and she seems to just move from man to man, Chris.
I know sometimes, and this is because I'm 5'8" and so are you. I wonder if sometimes if you are just a petite female, you read as more feminine, and even though if your whole demeanor and your whole vibe is like, mask. But first of all, there's so many TCs in the show, and I'm like, what does TC stand for? Like Toby Christopher? Is it? There's one. Is it Terrell Cupid? Is it Thomas Cash?
Christopher.
I
Thomas
don't know.
Christopher.
So yeah, we get to meet him. He is quote unquote a very good guy, and we know that because he takes Amber on a very fun, active date, and that is axe throwing. Now, have you guys ever axe thrown? I'll tell you right now, obviously we have because we started the show talking about it. It is so fun. Like you wouldn't think it'd be fun, and for I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't know who I am, like my whole personality, you wouldn't think that I would like it. I mean, I'm not someone who's just like throwing around things. I'm like the least athletic person in the world, and I have like stringy, buttery arms that like have absolutely no strength to be had. I can barely do. I mean, I can barely pick up a cup. But throwing axes at a wooden wall is thrilling and very fun. And they have small ones that almost make you feel like a spy. Go ahead, Wa.
Well, here's the truth. Chris really enjoys it because she's good at it. I am terrible. It masters me. I went once and she was just like throwing axes and they were landing and I was throwing axes like Amber's first axe throw. That was all of mine. So while it is fun, it was very stressful for me because I wasn't good at it and I don't like to do things I'm not good at. So that's what I learned about myself on that trip. But I would absolutely do it again only to get better at it and be good. But yeah, so Amber and Thomas Christopher. That's what I decided what TC stands for. Amber and Thomas Christopher are talking about how they met, and they met at a concert. And he put his hand out, and she put her hand in. He twirled her, and that she says that he's one of the most genuine people that she's ever met, and he's never been addicted. He has never been to prison, so he's definitely outside of her wheelhouse. And it looks like she's communicated to him all of her stuff because she talks about how she was doing drugs and like running the streets and being a meth queen and making lots of money from it. And so he's like, yeah, no, all I want to do is retire on a cattle farm with kids around me. And he asks her if she wants to have kids, and I thought for sure she was going to be like, no, not my body. And she says, yes. I never thought of it before because I've never been in a position with somebody who I ever thought that would be a good idea. And so now that I'm with you, it's on the table. And I said to myself, you know what? Amber is a responsible person. Like, as much as she's done in her life, the fact that over and over again she's thought about not bringing children into this world because she wasn't ready, when so many women, Destiny, are having children willy-nilly when they know they're not stable or a good person, or a person that should be a parent, and all those things. And I really have to applaud Amber for that. She, like Brittany, to me, are one of the success stories from this franchise, and I will always, I think, like them for that. What do you have to say about TC, Chris?
I mean, it's so funny because they were gonna like have a little like competition, and she was going to give that D a good B if she won. And yeah, she threw with the first axe, and she was like close, and it was not close at all. Like, I mean, if I were at that point, I'd be like, well, here's a knee, honey. I'll just do it now. Um, that's all I have to really say about that, except that he is a good guy, and I kind of like their life together. But I'm really what was interesting to me was the next scene, because I hadn't met Puppy's mom yet. And I don't know if this is something that people have talked about before, but Puppy's mother gave me hardcore Amber vibes. Like, in the sense of they talk in a very similar way. Like, and I'm not just saying like an accent, although that's there, but also the tone of their voice. It's low and it's very that kind of comforting low voice, as well as their overall energy. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I get why Puppy would be obsessed with Amber. You are literally just finding someone who like treats you like your mom does.
Yeah, I mean, I never noticed that, so that's a really good observation. But I think what I do that voice is Smoker's voice. One, two, the mother has like an illness at the time, at right now, and yeah, but she always does seem to talk to Michelle as though like Michelle is not her daughter and one of her just like younger friends. Um,
Yeah.
and I like that because I like the fact that Puppy and her mother have that relationship, and she's like, "Mom, I just want to talk to you." But also, this is what I want to say, Chris. I want to say that like Puppy's mother and Puppy have gotten really good at reality TV because that whole scene was contrived, right? She didn't just roll up to her mother's house and knock on the door, and her mom be like, "Oh, what's up, Michelle?" Like they like even the I know they improv that dialogue in between them, and because the way that they were speaking sounded very fake. But I was also like, you know what, you two, you go on ahead and make this reality TV money. I always just respect that too, when I can see the regular people who have no acting skills like just choose to do a reality show and entertain us with their lives.
There's a two sides to every coin because I see that too, and then the other side of it, I'm like, oh, these producers just got people that they're just like taking advantage of.
Okay. I could see
It's
that,
both.
but I think in this case that was like it was I see what you're saying, but in this case I didn't feel it as much as sometimes I have.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I think we're done with them. Let's move
Mhm.
on. I want to move on to a short couple. Who did we talk about for just a second? Chaz and Bronwyn. You want to just get them over with? Because what happened in
Sure.
that segment?
Oh my god. Well, I'm just like, so she has been on this mini vacation with Chaz, and it's been, somewhat delayed by his plane stitch, and so all their plans have been changed. But at the same time, she's also tried so hard to maintain the air of everything's okay in their relationship, by as well as still not have to spend one breathing intimate moment with him. And so she actually devises a great plan, which is, let's go to a strip club. I'll bring you and my friends. You will have women grinding on you, and those women won't be me. I think she's brilliant. But yeah, basically they go to this strip club, and Chaz is like the biggest doofus, and she was a stripper, so she is telling him the lay of the land, like, I can't dance, they get mad, just like sit here, we'll get you a lap dance. And it looks like bargain basement strip club. It's nothing nice. And she's just like, aren't I the best wife ever? Isn't this the best birthday ever? I mean, if that's your best birthday, honey, like what happened to your superhero 5-year-old birthday? What happened to that Superman cake? I mean, I just can't imagine this beats that. What? Oh, um, let me also say this. Uh, So yeah, as we get there, as you know, Bronwyn is trying to bring in different women to come touch her husband so that she doesn't have to touch her husband. We get one nice red-haired stripper who signed a release form so that we see her whole face come over, and she's like, do you want a lap dance? And Chaz is like, yes, whatever, god bless. She takes him to the private room. Honey, we know what happens in a private room. It's the champagne room, but it's probably bargain basement sparkling wine from a box. And as she's like, really giving me that lap dance, just grinding, honey, just doing what she has to do there to like get the blood flowing. He's like, so you said you're from around here? To the stripper. And then she is like, yeah, I'm from Kentucky. But she is like body rolling on his private parts. And here's the thing. I have always wanted to be a stripper. I think that there's something incredibly powerful of sitting in your sexuality and the power it gives you on men. And so, with the Hustlers movies and with P Valley, I feel like, strippers are interesting characters. Like, I can watch a stripper and or a strip theme show. Like, there used to be a show on HBO that was this too. Do anything. I would love a more reality show, which I guess is that Jocelyn Cabaret show on Zeus, which we've talked about for so many times now on the show. Anyway, Wah.
So yeah, I thought that it was really interesting, but it was um he was like, I've never been here. And then that was weird to me. I don't know why, but it was weird to me. And I was like, are you lying? I don't know. Are you, it's weird. And then he's in there with her, the woman who's giving him a lap dance. And she's like rubbing her tetas in his face. And he's like, so you're from here?
Oh
And I
yeah, I
was
said
like,
this.
oh, I was just like, yeah, it was just awkward. So they go outside, right? The friend pulls him outside. Do we have
Oh,
that scene?
yeah. Yeah, we can talk
So
about quickly about did you okay, so there was the red-haired stripper that gave him the lap dance, and there also was a real flexible stripper, honey, that, like, put his like, her whole vag in his face, and he was like, "Oh, it's my lucky day." He is so gross, and while, yeah, he's absolutely been to a strip club before because, of course, that's why he knows the stripper aesthetic. He likes the stripper aesthetic. This beta male that's in some sort of rock band has definitely spent thousands on strippers, and they've gotten him drunk and then taken his card to the ATM just like J-Lo does, and they've gotten even more money from him. And every woman that has done that to that man, you deserve anything you've gotten.
but yeah, it was just such a I don't know what to say. It was bleh. It was doofus. It was annoying. It wasn't anything that I was like, yeah. And she just is like, yes, Chaz. Oh, this is so sexy. And her friend pulls him outside and basically says, listen, I don't think Chad Bronwyn is going with you. And so if she doesn't, would you leave her? And he's like, yeah, I would. I couldn't do that. And the friend is like, well, bon voyage. Like, the friend I feel like is just like being a negative Nancy, even though she said she wasn't there to like down, to make him doubt her. She's just like, no, she's not coming. So I just want you to know that that's what's up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's funny because yeah, the other friend, the last episode, tried so hard with like the crying works to try and be like, but we just don't want her to leave. And this friend, 24 hours later, is like, look, this bitch not going. Just like I don't know what to tell you, letting you know. I mean, everyone is like dancing around you and telling you a bunch of lies. I'm gonna tell you right to your face. She's setting up shop here, honey. She's like doing things here. This woman is not moving to Kentucky. So wake up.
Yeah. Yeah, you thought, ooh, you thought wrongsies, wrongsies. So he then drives her back, and there's this moment of just like, I really wanted to spend time with you. And then Chaz is like, oh man, I'm so bummed I didn't get to see my girl, for longer than 2 hours, but I got the cabin again. And so we could go back up. And Bronwyn is like, well, we really didn't have that much time together because of my schedule. And then Chaz is like, but I know you're bogged down with like your homework and school and reacclimating yourself to the outside. Like, what is she really doing, Chris? Like, her schooling is out of a workbook. She's not like writing research papers.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you said before it's probably that her schooling might be like GED or something. So as much as I hate to say that, yeah, like yeah, just tell us what the capitals that are, honey. Like, do you know what the wars? I mean, there's it's not it's some things at this point since you've just been on the earth for like 20 years past the degree you should have gotten like in high school, like both like might have just come up. Like, what are you really having to study? But one thing I will say, and this is something I just have to say, is she's almost basically asleep in this car, honey. I mean, like this woman, we never see this woman take anything or anything, but this woman, honey, is not sober. She's asleep. She's out. I mean, I don't have to tell you, I don't know about all the drugs, but I will tell you that Bronwyn in this scene feels like she had just smoked opium in the 1870s with like French bohemians. I mean, where's the pipe? I mean, she looks, I mean, like, like she's opium high. Um, yeah, he is just so badly wanting to have her do anything to come back to the cabin to just bone her for 30 minutes. And she's like, I have been blessed by the powers that be that I don't have to have sex with you right now. And so, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm out.
Yeah, she definitely she definitely is on some kind of downer. And I was thinking maybe it's some kind of anxiety medication like Xanax. And so maybe that's what's going on and maybe it's prescribed. But I just don't know. I want to know what her other drug of choice was. I feel like it was meth. But that being said, he sees red flags and in the car is like, I love you, baby, I love you, baby, and then like kisses, and it was messy kiss, and she like gets out of the car with no items in her hand and some Ugg
Hmm.
boots and just like traipses up to her apartment. And I don't feel bad for him at all. I think he's stupid. So let's move on.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. He's the dumbest, honey.
Here was a funny segment. Let's move on to Taylor and Chance because their segment to me, it gave me like a lot of different, not necessarily emotions, but their segment to me provided just the ups and downs of what this relationship is going to be. Because so far we've seen Chance as like the stalwart person who wants to come out of prison and have a better and life, and he is trying to protect the children and wants to do right by Taylor and be the man that he needs to be. And then this first scene we see him in is in a an Easter egg, an Easter outfit because it's Easter, and he's gonna meet Taylor's father for the first time. And it's quite interesting. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, at first, they're in the park and he's wearing the bunny outfit for like 2 seconds, and my thought process was like, and then he takes off the head of it, which I get it's hot, but at the same time, it's like, well, those kids now know that it's like you, like they're not like I don't know. I just feel like you ruined the magic. I don't know. Maybe some people have to like work at Disneyland for a moment because you can't get into a furry outfit without really committing. Um, but what ends up happening is when he meets these parents, I don't know if he's awkward or if he just doesn't understand what to do, but I'll tell you what not to do, what he does. He launches into almost a comedy routine of the worst, most inappropriate jokes to tell the parents of someone you're meeting for the first time, of people that you have been like sleeping with. So he basically is like, yeah, okay, the dad is like, "What do you do for a living?" LOL. And he's like, "Part-time sex machine, part-time sex slave." And like man's in a full bunny gear, okay, full bunny outfit, so it's already horrible. And then oh, he says something else. Oh yeah, he says I'm allergic to drugs, yeah, because every time I do drugs I end up in handcuffs. And he like laughs about it. Meanwhile, like we all know Bobby has been on drugs the entire time, like drugs, and also like you not having a job, like all these are horrible jokes to tell someone's parents.
Yeah, he's like, I robbed a bank, I took some Xanax, and I woke up in prison. And I'm like, you didn't take Xanax and rob a bank. You take
Yeah.
Xanax and go to sleep and like, or you like watch TV. You don't take Xanax and rob a bank. And so like, yeah, those jokes were terrible. Like I just found out I'm allergic to drugs. You know, every time I take drugs, I break out in handcuffs. And I was like, at first I had to rewind it because I was like, what did he just say? And then they go into this like tirade about Bobby. These parents couldn't be more disappointed in Bobby. And I look at them and I'm like, y'all haven't done drugs? Okay. So, but the way that they're talking about Bobby is like they've definitely already given up on her, and it makes Chance have to defend Bobby and like lie about what's happening with Bobby because he realizes that Taylor is doing so. So, to me in this moment, Chance became a really good partner, and he backed up his wife, girlfriend, fiance, and he supported her and even asked her in the middle of them going off if she was okay. And I thought that was really, really great of him to do that. I thought that it was really a tender and sweet moment that I appreciated from him. Um, and I was like, I don't know, the parents, because here's what the Taylor says that her parents lived with her and Bobby. And she specifically says it like that because she wants everyone to know that Bobby lived with her first. And then her parents came to live with her. And then she had to pack up their stuff and kick them out because of the way that they were treating Bobby. So now I want to know, what did her dad do or not do during their childhood to have there be this like the girls against them mentality? Where's her real mother?
Hmm.
Why were her parents living with her? Like I just had a lot of questions. And so now I'm
Hmm.
starting to think, you know what, Taylor has got so much on her plate and she needs somebody like Chance to be on her side, truthfully. I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I don't quite understand how she is the most stable person in her whole family. I mean, to have her dad and the dad's stepmom come live with her begs to wonder why between the two people that they older people why they didn't have their lives together in such a way. There feels like there's trauma. Taylor, you can tell, hates her dad. I mean, there's not any love lost there.
Yeah, he did
Um
something to them.
Oh, yeah, and yeah, he is incredibly and at the same time, I feel like he knows he did, and instead of dealing with the shame and responsibility, he lets all of that go on to Bobby as if she's the bad one because she does drugs.
Yeah.
So, it's really messed up. I'm gonna say it's like, yeah, it's really messed up. And also, what happened was dad and stepmom end up calling child welfare services to make a service check on Taylor in Taylor's home, right? Which is goes back to Taylor thinking that someone could take away her kids if Bobby OD'd. I understand now that there's probably a file already, and probably she's now like, that file got started because my dad did what he did, you know? And
Yep.
I'm going to also say this, there is no great side to be on, because at the same time, I don't love the idea that Taylor has three young kids running around a house with someone who is incredibly knee deep in heavy heroin addiction. That so much so that this person has OD'd multiple times in the home with your kids. It's it's not good.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
yeah, Chance is like, "Oh, I OD'd before, so I know it's." He's all of a sudden on Bobby's side when they're talking. So I mean, I did like that. But then we have this next scene with Chance, and we're like, "Oh, okay, you are an idiot." Here he is. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. So this man goes out and buys a truck because it makes him feel good. And not only does he buy the truck without talking to Taylor, he also gets rims. So he's like, "Oh, it's now 700 and or $800 or whatever a month that they have now in credit because he needed a car."
A specific car, because he definitely could have gotten a cheaper car, you know.
Yeah. And
There's
I just it makes me mad when that shit happens because to me everyone's like, "Oh, all you need is love." And I'm like, "No, all you need is healthy finances." Um you need healthy finances and love. And so she's trying to explain to him that, like, we can't take on a bunch of debt. We're doing well now because I don't have debt. And he's like, "Well, we're here and I want to take us here." And she's like, "Do you see us? We're not up here people. Okay? We are here people. And I'm doing here people real well. So we can get here if you go get a job and you become successful. But like, we're not going to be here. We're not going to get a better house. I have a house. It's fine. Let's fix it up. Like, I have 3 kids to contend with, and I cannot put our finances in a bind when I have got the next at least 15 years worth of taking care of children. And if Chance and her have more children, it's more kids and more mouths to feed. And
a
I just
lot.
imagine that Chance one day is going to start to make those girls get jobs at like 15. He's going to be that person because he can't make good, sound financial decisions, that he's going to like put the burden onto the children.
Interesting. Yeah, his whole demeanor is, well, when I was not in prison before, I made money. The only reason why I didn't have the money is because I was still into drugs. So like, I'm gonna make the money. He's spending money he doesn't have under the guise that he's going to make it. He also spends money in such a way because he feels like everyone does. Well, everyone buys things on credit and everyone takes loans, which is another thing he says. He says that he wants to, on top of the new car, take a loan out for a wedding, which, I mean, in every 90-day world and every world that I can, it's like, I think it's the dumbest idea possible, especially if it's like not someone's first marriage, to spend a bunch of money that they don't have on weddings. And that's like yeah, he feels as flighty and as ignorant as, like, a young girl who doesn't know how, or yeah, a young girl who doesn't know how money works, like just wants to keep spending, like me. Him and I have, I guess, a similar idea of money, which is it just comes, right?
So like I mean, I yeah, I just think that he doesn't understand what kind of bind he's putting them in, and I know it's coming from a place of wanting to be established sooner than later and wanting to give her the things that he thinks that they and she deserves. But he has got to talk to her about the financial situations, and he's also got to not be mad at her when she's upset about it. He just needs to take it and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I say. Like, it was a funny scene because he was like telling stupid jokes, but then also it was a not funny scene because we were seeing him spend money that they didn't have and then try to back defend it in some way.
Yeah, but also I thought it was funny when he was like, "Baby, I'm gonna take you right to the top." I was like,
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's
"The top of what, honey?"
Yeah, you also, hey, the money
The
you were
top of a
making
parking
before you went
garage.
the money the top of the parking garage. The money you were making before you went to prison was money being made by a person who didn't have felonies. So I think the money made by a person who now has felonies might be different.
Mm, speak on it.
So let's move on to Sean and whatever in his stupid face, because it was quick and it was really just about Destiny, but I don't have a picture of her. And so let me quickly just like lay it out. So Destiny is driving around plotting on crashing his wedding because she feels like he owes him 50K for miscellaneous items. And now that she's pregnant, which she actually says, she feels that it's owed her. And we have a scene of his wife Kelly, or his no, not not his wife. We have a scene of his baby mama of 6, Kelly, at the airport with the daughter that we have seen time and time again in this show, who has now cut her hair and is obviously going through it. She just like cut it. She didn't cut it and style it. She didn't cut it and color it and style it. She just like cut it, and now it's just like shorn, and we're looking at this person wondering who is this, and we're looking at this person telling us that they are an adult and that they, now want to let go of the past of how their father treated them when they weren't an adult, because it's not only hurting them and not him, but yet she still needed her mother to come with her to the wedding. And her mother has a gangly friend with her. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're just like very confused. We're also confused about her hair because, I mean, Kelly always has a different red hued hair, but this purple takes the cake. I mean, here's the truth: it never looks good on her, but it's never a bad color. Chris?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Um, we also yeah. Uh we also of course get a mad Destiny who's like of course stalked the wedding, knows where the wedding is, and is in a car with a GoPro and a producer being like, talk, trying to lay out her case for why she's on the road, why she can just show up to the wedding because he showed up to her court date. So, like, same. And why it owes her money. And in previous episodes, it was like, well, he owes me 10,000. Well, he owes me 15,000. And this episode's like, well, he owes me 50,000. And here's it is. He was going to buy me a car. Then I didn't get the car. He was supposed to get the 10,000 ring. I didn't get the ring, plus the clothes. Time she actually sees him at the wedding, she'll be like, $1 million, sir. No, here's the bill. It's time to pay up. I think so. So, um, I don't
In what
understand.
world?
It's right,
In what world are her clothes worth any amount of money? Go ahead.
right. No, yeah. It is preposterous to me to even think that I would drive somewhere and tell someone that they owe me thousands of dollars when they just told me they were going to give me something and then we broke up. Like, I wouldn't be like, no, you were supposed to give it to me and we broke up, but I was still going to get it. Like, I just can't imagine that that's a real thing, but it's not. We have producers literally setting up this whole thing. Something happens later on. I forgot to write in the notes that is so absolutely ridiculous that it was that I have to. I'll bring it up when we can. Ooh, let me see. So basically, just know this. So yes, during this segment, we barely see Sean and Sarah. They have like a very brief scene. What we're seeing is all the women coming to the wedding to ruin Sean's life, right? Including his daughter, including the skinny girl, including Kelly, and then of course Destiny and Destiny's baby. Which the producers are like, "Is there any chance that baby's Sean's?" And she's like, "Next question." But I'll let you finish this segment. Let me just tell you the thing that I hated the most. When they go to the hotel, they all go to the hotel, right? And somehow Destiny is like, "Hi, can I have Sean's room number?" And someone at the front desk is like 237. That literally cannot happen. It is illegal for hotel rooms to tell anyone what room number you are in. Even, I mean, it's absolutely illegal. You cannot do it. So in my mind, I was like, is that a production intern just pretending to stand behind that desk, being like, you have to say 237 just so when because we want there to be a reason why Destiny would know what room he's in. But in real life, she would never know. And so that's the part that really took me out, where I was like, this is fake, 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 and I can't stand it. What?
I actually didn't see that. I don't. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see that part, but that explains why she shows up at his door, because I thought it was a preview for next episode. Um, um, That's crazy. Yeah, that can't happen at all. I just was like, I was annoyed that the Kelly came when she wasn't bringing young children. Like Gracie didn't need her mother to be there. So that to me
Right.
was like, okay, now this is really contrived because now we're ruining Sarah's day. And I feel for Sarah because she is an innocent in this and Sean is the villain. So I want Sean's day to be ruined, but I don't want Sarah's day to be ruined. She's pregnant. And like then her bug-eyed mother is gonna come start hollering with like what I can only imagine is like smoker's breath and like breath of somebody who like the flossing is limited. I just don't want that for Sarah, And so it was just like
Mhm.
really annoying that this is now their storyline, but also kind of entertaining and like fine. And then she tries to pull back and say that sex with Sean was not great. And she
Let's
says
talk
that
about
she
it.
said it because she didn't want to hurt his feelings. And I call BS. I call BS on that because she said it twice that their sex was really good. And all of a sudden now she's like, maybe I'll just have sex with women. Girl, you need to give that baby up for adoption.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of low key want Kelly to also be pregnant by him. I just want 3 pregnant women all at this wedding.
Ew.
Yeah, when you had told me that Destiny had said that he was so good in bed, and I hated it then. And so when she, declined it now, I was actually really, really happy about it. I wish she had said more mean things like, "And his penis, I said was so big, tiny, 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 tiny. I lied about it all," But
But you
at the
don't.
same time, that baby's his, right? When she said next question, she would have been like, "No, no, not no, it's not him. This baby's gonna have a great dad." But no, when she said next question, I was like, "That's his baby. Maybe that's why." And if it is his baby, why isn't she just coming at him with like, "You owe me $50,000 of child support,"
That's what makes me believe that it's not true, that she's just using it as like drama. And also maybe because she doesn't quite know whose baby it is. But also like God, I just forgot my thought. Dang it. Anyway, I don't know. You don't understand. Now, here's my thought. You don't know that Destiny is an absolute villain. Like she's not a good person at all. So even if she were to say mean things about him, she's so bad that I would be like, well, you're this. Not that she's wrong, but I would be like, okay, like pot kettle. Cause she's really an awful person, Chris, like an awful, like from the core individual. And I feel like if she has a child, then she's bringing in a spawn,
Yeah, of course. I
because
understand what you're saying, but she's Mother
sh-
Teresa compared to him.
no, she's not. But okay. Well, let's let that be the thing. You guys let us know if who's worth, Sean or Destiny. All right, let's move on to Deontay and Lindsay. And give you a little bit. So we start off this episode giving us a little bit more of what we ended with last episode. So apparently, not only did Blaine and Lindsay have a conversation in the bathroom right before they left that made Deontay uncomfortable, Blaine also gave Lindsay some boots. And Lindsay was so happy about it. And Deontay was mildly like jealous and upset regarding this. So they get into the car. I remember she asked to drive, and then she doesn't.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, I'm real uncomfortable with you being with that Blaine dude. And she's like, what? Why would you be uncomfortable? And he's like, you should be happy I'm concerned because that really means that I love you. And so she's like, oh, is that what that means? And I said, come through therapy. Because
Mhm.
she hears that statement and goes, oh no, that's a teenager's thought pattern
Mhm.
of like, oh, for me to show that he likes me, I have to get him jealous. Or if a sign that somebody really wants me is them acting a fool when I talk to other people or when I have male friends. Like, no, those are red flags for somebody who's deeply insecure and won't let you be your own person. And I love that she was like, oh, is that what that's supposed to mean? And so she's staring at him and he's like, why are you looking at me like that? And she's like, I'm just looking at you. And he's like, are you undressing me with your eyes? And then he makes some comment about like her group of ragtag friends and how she's better than that. And she calls him out on that too. She's like, don't do that to me. That's what Scott did. And don't try to make it seem like my friends are just like beneath that. Because you know what Scott said is that I looked like I wasn't that. But the truth is that I am, and people are all people. So if you see me and accept me just physically based on the way I look, I'm just as rotten as they are on the inside. No, that's not what she said, but understood her point. And then he's like, well, don't get mad. I get tongue tied when I'm around you. I didn't mean that. And she's like, okay. But I love the fact that Lindsay is reading everybody their rights and she's not going to take any ish. And you're going to treat people fair regardless. And you're going to, help her out with her criminal ways. Chris?
Yeah, and we get to another TC, honey, and this one's name is Travis Kaka. This one, Trevor Chocolate. Trevor Chocolate is in being held for bond, honey. And as we know, Lindsay really wants to get Trevor Chocolate out. And so now she has Deontay, who is like sweet angel Deontay, has never had like, honey, a traffic ticket, in this car, and she's like, you're gonna go get him now. You know that Deontay does not want to do it. Like, it is his first time, but he is so obsessed with Lindsay. And she's also incredibly strong-willed, honey. She runs the pants, she runs everything. That he can't say no to her at all. So all he can do is be like, I never want to do this again. And then she just is like, but what if it was me? Like, she never is like, I understand this is like painful for you and you won't ever have to do it again. She's basically like, you should do this because I want you to do it. And I want you to like do what I say. So he, of course, has to do it. She's very controlling. She's good at her job. He goes and he takes the cash and he goes inside the place, but he finds out that, Trevor Chocolate has different holds in different areas. So even if it was to give him all the money, this $759 and in cash, that he would just have to stay there or go to another place and just be held there. And so also what happens is Lindsay, having told Deontay about her different warrants and how the feds are looking for her, starts to like get uncomfortable, kind of antsy. She sees cops around and stuff like that. And so he's like, just come pick me up. If you can't get him out, like, let's leave. Like, I don't like it. And so he, having done his duty, comes back and gets her. And they're in the car, and he's like, well, what do you want to do now? And then she says the thing that he's been waiting for the entire time, which is like, baby, let's just go back to your Airbnb. And he knows what that means. It means bomb chicka bow bow. Is that what it is? Not bomb. Bow chicka bow bow. And he wants it. I mean, he has been looking at her like lustfully. He can't wait to just dive into that southern swamp, honey. I mean, he's gonna be a little alligator in there, What?
Oh my God. For you guys that are not, you guys are just hearing this audio, I've had to like just run and do something, and I came back and I hear swim in that southern swamp.
No, but he can't wait to bone her, like he's so excited to, quote unquote, he's gonna tear that ass up.
Yeah. Thunderdome.
Do you think he's going to tear that ass up, Wa?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know Deontay. So Deontay at some point had a little fake torso of his other woman that he liked, that he would put his penis in and maneuver about. So he had this like, it was like maybe let me try to, it was maybe this long, and it was the shape of a white woman's body. So it had no arms. It was just like the torso, like a little bitty boob situation. And then at the base of it was a hole. So it was like a pocket pee.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say it?
Fleshlight.
Yeah. It's like a I can't say the PUSS word wide. It's hard for me to say it, but it was a pocket PUSSY. And he would have sex with that. So because he was waiting for his girl to come out of prison. So I fully believe that he has been waiting for Lindsay, and he's going to tear that ass up, as he stated. So that's really what drives him to go and bond TC out personally. What do we call him? Toby Carey?
I liked Trevor Chocolate. You didn't like that?
Trevor Chocolate. I couldn't remember which one it was. Trevor Chocolate. Or what did you call him? Something Kaka?
Travis Kaka.
Travis Kaka. Trevor Chocolate. So did I mention that she has warrants? And so the whole warrant conversation was really confusing for me, because I don't understand how that works. Neither does Deontay. And it seems interesting to me that somebody who would be dating felons would know a little bit more about that situation. And also the fact that he truly believes that he is a captain with a cape that is going to save a hoe. Like he truly feels like all of these women are going to come back, are going to come out of prison and just leave that life behind them and move into the future with him and just start making better and different choices. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Deontay, no, no, no. This person is this person who's this person, and that's this person, right? You didn't get a Brittany, you didn't get an Amber. You got a puppy. You got not even a puppy. You got a Lindsay. You got somebody who, after 6 weeks, went back into prison. This isn't somebody who is going to come
Mm-hmm.
out and all of a sudden make better choices. No, this person is going to have to be weaned off that life, and it's going to be hard for them. So I think it's so interesting that he's just so shocked that she's asking this of him, and he's like, "You better not ever ask me to do anything like this again." And I feel like in her mind, her inner eyebrow just quirks and is like, "Oh baby, you don't know. Okay, you can't. You could take the queen out the sugar, but you can't take the sugar out the queen." So he goes to bond Trevor, what was his name?
Oh, I already said this already. So
Oh,
let's move on to our last couple, my love. Just because, yes, I went through that.
absolutely.
Um, our last couple is Kevin and Tiffany, honeys. I'm
Woo.
gonna open with this because I really want to talk about Kevin's bedroom decor. Is red and black and baseball caps everywhere. I mean, just as if they're Picassos, just each one framed like
Wait,
art.
they're not baseball caps, Chris, they're fitteds.
Come again?
So they're fitteds. They're not baseball caps. They are fitteds. They're hats that are a very particular type of hat. And men like Kevin and a lot of men, you may not know them in your sphere, but I am very much aware of them. They have a hat or two for each color concept or pattern they could possibly have in their lives. So it's a collection, but it's like a collection that he wears and that he will continue. It's like sneakers, sneakerheads.
Yeah.
He does that with hats. So like he'll
But
have
those
all of the
shape of the hat is a baseball, right? That's what I'm confused about. Isn't the shape of the hat a baseball hat? It's a baseball cap. There's a
okay.
brim. I guess there's a brim.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
Okay, let me go on.
Yeah. So he yeah, no, go ahead. I was just trying to jump in. Go ahead and finish your thought with the thing with his
No,
collection.
you. That's all I had to say. But then you were like, "It's not a baseball hat." That's why I'm confused.
Oh, yeah. So they're called fitteds. They're a very specific type of hat, not affiliated with baseball. So that's what I was just trying to say. But yeah. They are. You're right. They are in that style. They're not a fedora. So in that respect, you are correct. So Kevin finds the note that he reads incorrectly with the undies, and then calls Tiffany to gaslight. I mean, just like fully like be Kev and just paint a different picture and make her feel like she's crazy. But Tiffany is not here for that. Tiffany is too smart. She's not Kayla. And I'm Chris, I'm gonna let you talk about Kayla, but I did like Kayla's hair. She's not Kayla. You're not going to sit there and say something to her and have it be crazy and wrong and then have her feed into it as though she's like, oh no, if you're going to be weird, then like I'm going to be weird too. And like we could just both be weirdos together separately. She's like, I need you to be honest, if you, whose underwear are those? And he's like, I don't know, yours. And she's like, okay, Kevin, great. So we'll talk later because, it's not me. I'm not going to blow up and get angry at you and I'm not going to act a fool. That's somebody else you date. So we'll
Mhm.
talk later, okay?
I love it. You're right. Classy.
Yeah. She was not with it. She's like, you're not going to do that. He's like, I gave you a key as to like show his sincerity. And she's like, yeah, but you probably gave other women's keys too because there's lots of underwear in your drawer. And so
Mhm.
he's like, well, no, like just crazy. It was crazy. So, anyways, so then production has a little conversation with him and like, Kev, what are you hiding? And he's like, I'm not really hiding anything. She's the one that got a problem because she's so skeptical of me and think I'm doing the most. It's because she's doing the most. So they're just two people. He's somebody who doesn't want to get played by her, but also he doesn't want to let go of Kayla and the other woman he has. So he tries to like make it seem like she's the wild one, especially when he's talking to Kayla. Chris, you want to talk about that?
Well, basically, yeah. So at some point he leaves, right? Or he comes back to the house So he leaves from this moment, then comes back to the house. And when he comes back to the house, parked in front of him is Kayla, honey. She is sitting there. And you're like, oh my God, how's this going to go down? He goes up to her, he like leans in the window. He's like, hey. And she, oh my God, manipulates the situation so beautifully. She, honey, rolls that window down. Hi. Hi, no, it's me, Kayla. Just wanted to maybe talk and hang out. It's like miss you so much. I'm just like outside. Like, do you want to go inside and just like chill? He's like, well, I got a couple hours, whatever. God bless. She's like, okay, because she's like a vampire. You can't just like come in. She like gets invited. She's very fucking smart. She sits down. She doesn't even pull anything yet. He's like, do you want a drink? I want a soda or something. She's like, how about alcohol? Girl knows what she wants. He pours her a glass of red wine. She's like, cool, cool, cool. Love red wine, but how about that Grey Goose got your girl feeling loose? And I'm wishing that I didn't wear these shoes, which is my favorite Fergie song, you guys. London Bridge is the best Fergie song of all time. And let's talk about it. Because I'll tell you, Kayla loves it too. Kayla's like, I need some vodka. I need to get loose. And Kayla knows what she needs to get loose for because, honey, the minute and by the way, he doesn't give her vodka because he knows. The minute that red wine hits her lips, she switches. I mean, why? You take it on.
So first of all, when she rolled down that window and he like put his little body in there, his little ass body in there, I said, "Oh, that man smells good. He smells good, sis." Okay, I smelt it. It was 3 a.m. and I smelt his cologne. Okay, he like, oh God, oh. Okay, he leaned in. So then okay, they get to the
His
house,
old
right? Chris is
spice.
all right. Chris is all right. Okay, they get into the house and they start to drink, and he's again with the red motif because that glass is like a red wine glass, and then he goes into the
Mm-hmm.
freezer and pulls out a ball of ice because he's classy as fuck. If he's gonna drink his dark liquor, it's gonna be over a ball of like fancy ass ice in like a real like dark liquor cup, a glass. And so he's got the right stemware. You know what I'm saying? He's got the right highball glassware for all of his liquor needs. And she's like, so tell me about this bitch that you got on Tinder. How the fuck is you going blitty, fuck, motherfucking talking about me like I ain't shit when I was over here sucking your, we be having great sex. When was this last time I seen you? And he is just like, the whole time, it's just like, Kayla, what are you talking about? And she's like, fuck it in a fuck. The fuck, you got me all fucked up, motherfucker. Like, just dead. I was dead. And then she's like, I don't understand. We have really good sex. And I said, bitch, I know you do. His little ass might be able to think about all the maneuvers he might be able to do. Just think about how, like, oh, just I mean, and her little body too, like her little flat, like natural stomach, and her. I was like, listen, I love a girl who can wear that fit, where it's like a fitted top and it gives you a little bit of belly with your belly ring and some sweats. It was always like I always felt like I could be that girl, but my body's just not like that, and also like my spirit, like I can't be out there. Like my father would kill me. But like what I'm saying is, I am very envious of women who have that style, and I would love to wear some sweats and J's and a little crop top one day in my life, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But and I loved her hair. I just loved it. It was like kind of lavender. It was I was living. But she is so ghetto and is so obsessed with Kevin. And she is exactly the opposite of Tiffany. And that's why he will always keep her around.
Yep. It's sad because you know how if you're a female, you have all the thoughts that she has when you like someone and they're not giving you the attention. Like all the horrible, insecure thoughts of why would he not want to be with me when I give him everything, this real good poon, and like we have fun. We like, and I'm great. I like have a job and I'm like so hot. I'm younger than him. Like, how could he not be obsessed with me? Like, those are all the thoughts that we always have that, like, and each one of us does. But honey, she is not afraid to let them all out, as icky and cringy as it is. And it's hard because, we don't want that for any of our sisters. And I don't mean to call her
Yeah.
a sister, but you know what I'm saying? Like for any of our women friends. I
Yeah.
actually hate her hair wa.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Okay.
no, it's very thin, it's very stringy. I mean, it's very over bleached, you know?
Oh, okay. I like the color. I just thought she was put together. I thought she was well put together for this segment. in her style, and it's very pick me. She really wants this
Mhm.
man to choose her, and he's
Mhm.
not gonna, because he wants her, but not for his like regular white girlfriend. And he's like, honestly, Kayla, when's the last time we were actually in a relationship? And she was like, well, 4 years ago. And he was like, exactly. So like, I don't want you like that. I just want you to come over and act crazy and give me a little sum and then go about your business. Like, I'm not trying to get wife you. Like, girl, get into your thick head. And then she's like, I'm gonna expose your little bitch ass. And I said, oh, that felt real disrespectful. The fact that he allows her to call him a little bitch ass, and he doesn't threaten to knock her pussy ass out. I was just like, really, like, wow, her vagina must be great. Her head must be amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, her head's amazing. His head is also literally amazingly big for his body. So they have some things in common. Yeah, I was like, what are you gonna expose? Like, what does he have? Like, what dark secrets in that closet, honey? Like, what are you gonna say? That he likes to be in polyamorous threesomes, that he is cheating on you with, I mean, with Tiffany, like things we know. I mean, but listen, if you have other secrets, we're all ears. Mhm.
Exactly. All right,
Mhm.
you guys. So that is the end of our recap. I think that it was a really fun episode. And Chris, I'm glad that you're getting back into Love After Lockup, because it really is quality trash TV, you know?
Okay. Yeah, okay. I get that. Uh
She's still
It is a
skeptical. She still kind of doesn't want to watch it.
I just feel so bad for I feel bad for these people because I just feel like the producers are just like, "Hey, like, can't wait to come back and show all your drama, like, for money for us." And I'm like, "I just don't think you're paying these people enough money for this." But that's, that's between them and Matt Sharp, I guess.
What do you mean? Chance bought a car. He thinks that they're about to be rolling in the dough. He, in
Well,
fact, thinks that they're about to get their own show.
I know he does. He's like, "They can't get enough of my bunny suit,
Yeah.
my stand-up
All right,
comedy
kids.
routine."
Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Chris, for making the effort and taking time out of your busy schedule, because I messed it up for this morning of us doing our this live. Or this recap. So we want you all to follow us on Patreon if you can. You can find us on patreon.com/docusweeties for $10 a month to get this content quick and in a hurry. Right now, we've got a lot of visuals about all of our recaps on Patreon. And once we get enough Patreon people, we'll start to go live. Because right now, if we did go live, there'd be like one person in the room and it'd be awkward. But so we need more people. If you want to support us, please do so. You can also find us on our other. Chris is going to talk to you
Yeah.
guys about our social stuff, and I'm going to put it on the screen right now for her to do so.
Love it. So here's the thing. Of course, give us money if you want to, but if not, that's fine. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, you can at DocuSweeties. On TikTok, it's DocuSweeties too. We might not even have a Facebook, but for sure Instagram is there. And we're quite active, including, by the way, while I was in Scotland, because this is where I am, David of David and Annie of 90 Day Fiance commented on my picture. And then I said, David, like, what if I meet a Scottish brogue? And what if I fall in love? And like, what if I have to go on my own 90-day journey? And he blessed me. He gave me his blessing. So let's see what happens. You can follow the journey on Instagram itself, DocuSweeties. It's been so fun. We love you guys so much. And thank you for listening. As always, please rate us and give those 5 stars, baby boos, and share it amongst your fronds.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.